Nah, as I grown up, I realized that Peyton is such a toxic friend. Brooke deserves better. Here's the thing about Peyton and Brooke's friendship that I always kind of looked at from a perspective of you can be friends with someone and really resent them for things that you feel like you should have that they have, but at the same time, when you are watching someone go through torment, you have to really put in the idea of what that means moving forward. Because one thing that I always loved about Rachel is she might have been a bitch, but she was also very honest about how you could come across a little ungrateful towards somebody when, in certain ways, Peyton was being honest with Brooke. At the end of it all, in the beginning, she was not honest. In the middle, she was a little more forthcoming. And at the end, she finally just had to admit, yeah, we can't be friends because I like your man. Now, what Peyton did tell Brooke was, I just want to be honest, and Peyton got slapped, and Brooke was angry because she wasn't getting her way. Not getting your way shows a lot about how Brooke was with Peyton and Peyton was with Brooke. Watching someone you know feel certain ways about certain things should tell you everything you should know about that person. If they're watching you be tormented or being disrespected or being lied to, mentally tortured, called out of their name, all these things, and you're not doing anything about it, you're telling that person who's going through this torment everything they need to know about you, no matter the situation, because that's how you feel from that day forward. There's no changing that. With that being said, for Brooke to torment Peyton with Lucas, which is what she basically did, and she admitted it in the prom episode, that it was a whole bunch of jealousy and backstabbing and a whole bunch of stuff on her part. That should tell you everything you need to know about Brooke at that point. Moving forward, she could have been more honest, and she did become more honest because it was like, I have got the successful business. I don't have the love of my life yet. But if I'm being honest, I put myself in the position to torment you because I didn't want you to have it, and it wasn't a good place to be, which is the very exact opposite of how I felt for Lindsay, because Lindsay, being an adult, was like, this is already happening. This is already what it is. And when it finally dawns on her, maybe last minute, that Peyton is still someone that Lucas has not necessarily peaked just yet, like he's not trying to be honest with himself, she removes herself from it immediately. And even when she relapses, she's not necessarily mad when he comes back into her life and he tells her what he's doing. The whole narrative for the Brooke and Peyton friendship is learn what they're allowing to happen to you. If you are someone's friend and you know that they're in trouble and you know that they're being disrespected and they're being hurt and yelled at and talked down to and all these things, which is basically what Brooke did to Peyton, that should tell you exactly what kind of friend or person you're dealing with every single time. They cannot go back. They cannot change it. They're telling you how they feel about you, how they feel about the situation. They're showing you everything that they could possibly give you moving forward. Now, for the show, Brooke became a better person in a way, sometimes in theory, because when she finally got to season 9, she did admit she was a bitch. But when a person is watching you be mistreated and talked down to, they're telling you everything they need to know. And people are always like, well, Peyton was just a hoe and she was doing all that. No. Brooke was tormenting Peyton, maybe not subconsciously, but the way certain things kept getting played back to Brooke, the way Rachel was kind of like, okay, so she's telling you that she has feelings for your boyfriend, but if you don't feel any type of way about it, she's not going to act on it. And that sounds like a pretty good friend to me. And Rachel, who is a victim of Brooke's abuse firsthand, is like, that should be your first clue. I'm like, Rachel is a bitch. Rachel is like, I don't give a damn. I'm doing whatever I want. I'm cool. I'm running the show. I'm cute. All these things. But I'm Rachel. I'm telling you that this is someone who's trying to be your friend and be honest with you. And you're over here being a trip. That was my inclination. I was like, okay, so Rachel, who don't necessarily not like you like that, is being more on. Like, okay, so the playback is off the walls. Like, because every single part of each narrative, people are like, okay, Brooke, you doing a little much with this Peyton thing. And Brooke's just like, you don't get it. No, you got told about yourself and the honesty of what you were as a friend. Because in that scene, when Peyton's like, can we go back to friends the way we used to be? And Brooke's like, no, we can't. No, we shouldn't, because we were horrible, and I was horrible to you. I was mentally tormenting you through this entire situation. I was tormenting you, I was tormenting Lucas, and I was trying to get what I wanted. And then after it blew up in my face, I still got called out by someone I used to torment too, because I spread fat posters of her post plastic surgery, telling me that even at this moment, I'm still wrong. So it doesn't matter whether it's this, that, or the third. I'm wrong, and I'm trying to fix it best way. But still, at the end of the day, when we get back to the whole before the prom episode in Honeygrove, Peyton is like, how could you treat me this way? You made fun of my mom's death. You abandoned me. You watched me go through having a stalker. Like, you watched me get assaulted. All these things you made me go through, while also mentally torturing me with the man that I love, but I'm trying to sacrifice my happiness for you. You are this just horrible. And I'm like, that's why I've always been like, girl, you on my nerves. Like, I just can't stand it. But it does say a lot about it. So that's why I say, when people are watching you go through your torment, they're telling you everything that they are right then and there. And moving forward, that's how they always will be. The only thing that changed for Brooke is she got tired of getting knocked down and told she was wrong. She was like, look, I'm wrong. I couldn't get it. I couldn't change it. I couldn't flip it. I couldn't do anything. I was just wrong. But pay attention to people who are watching you go through your torment, because they're telling you everything that they're about right there. So when Peyton really does tackle Brooke and puts her on the ground and is like, that's that ass, she's like, yeah, you're a bitch.